Spencer Humphrey joins us now for the breakdown. And Spencer, your story aired last night at 10. It's about an 8-minute story, so we don't have time to show it right now. But it's about how the political ads, all of the political ads that we're seeing, and the dark money that's behind some of those ads. So you can go to KFOR.com to watch the full story, but we do want to break this down today. So the law does allow for dark money groups to stay anonymous. Why is that?
Yeah, well, first, it's helpful to understand what a dark money group is. And basically, they are these 501c4 nonprofit groups. So they're not a PAC, a political action committee, and they're not a candidate's campaign. They're considered a nonprofit group, just kind of like a lot of other nonprofit groups you might hear about. And there is a Supreme Court decision called the Citizens United decision, the U.S. Supreme Court, and where they basically ruled that these groups, since they are not an actual candidate, they don't have to follow the same rules that an actual candidate and their campaign does to release who funds them.
Okay, so you spoke to two different dark money groups and you asked each of them for their donor list. What did they say?
Well, I would encourage our viewers to go to KFOR.com and watch the full story because they basically, long story short, they said no, they're not going to release them. When I pressed them, though, on, hey, who are some of the people on these lists? What kind of people are on these lists? Again, they really didn't give me any answers. I tried asking these questions several times in multiple different ways and was basically told it's never going to be released because they don't have to. And I even asked them, I know you don't legally have to release these lists, but for people out there who might feel like you're not releasing them for some sort of nefarious purpose, why don't you just release them? And again, basically the answer was, law says we don't have to, so we won't. And they also say that it's about protecting their donors. They don't want people coming after them.
Okay, so let's talk about fundraising limits. Candidates have them. How come the dark money groups don't have fundraising limits? They can raise as much as they want.
Yeah, it again goes back to that Supreme Court decision, the Citizens United decision, which candidates and their campaigns, they have limits on how much somebody can donate to their campaign. PACs, political action committees, same sort of thing. But these dark money nonprofits, the court basically ruled that they're just they're issue organizations. They're not a candidate, so we don't need to apply the same rules to them. And so what that also allows is corporations, which have a lot of money, to donate as much money as they want to them. Because in that same court ruling, the court also ruled essentially that corporations are considered like people when it comes to political donations, and they can make donations from their treasury. So it really allows these dark money groups to, can reach out to powerful corporations with a lot of money and can get as much money as they want from them, and they don't have to tell you that that's who they got it from, and then run ads that those people funding them may want them to run.
Okay, so because the Supreme Court ruled on this, obviously it's a done deal. This will not change. But critics say because there are no fundraising limits for these dark money groups, those groups can essentially buy all the airtime, all the commercials they want, and persuade voters, right? They can essentially buy an election.
You can call it what you want, but I would say that's an accurate assessment. They can buy as much airtime as they want, and they can run whatever they want. Now, certainly they are subject to, if they air something that could be found in court to be defamatory, then they are subject to that. They can't lie, but they can certainly say things in certain ways that maybe paint candidates or issues in certain ways that maybe aren't the most flattering or are maybe, stretches of the truth. But again, they really are not, they don't have many limits on what they can do and what they can say and how often they can do it.
Yeah, and you did take that deep dive last night at 10. Again, you can go to KFOR.com to watch the full story, very in-depth. You did a great job, Spencer. Thanks for being here today. And when we come back, your weather discussion is next.